Hello and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. And it is D-Day for the BLITZBOKS as they head into the final round of the 2022 World Series at Los Angeles. Now, they're currently top the log. However, they could potentially lose out to the World Series with Argentina and Australia very much being in the hunt to try and reel in the South Africans. So it's going to be very interesting for the weekend with regards to looking at other performances as well as the South Africans as they do try and go back-to-back in the World Series. They've also just won the Commonwealth Gold, so they could potentially go Commonwealth Gold, World Series, and have the World Cup Sevens in a few weeks' time. Before you sort of get into the squad that's been announced, please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Now, these are the men who will be taking to the field this weekend. It is Sako Makata, Ryan Oosthuizen, James Murphy, Zane Davids, Angelo Davids, JC Pretorius, Branko de Pree returns to the squad, Darren Adonis, Sean Williams, Dewald Human, Severo Zwapi, who's recovered from injury, Muller du Plessis, and Shilton van Wyk. So there are a couple of players missing, some very sort of notable, the likes of Sullivan Davis not available due to injury, and we wait to see whether he will be available for the World Cup. But yeah, there's no Ronald Brown as well, so also injured. So obviously a couple of players, but it's still a very strong squad. As I said, the return of Branko de Pree is a very big boost to the squad. Angelo Davids was an absolute brilliant form during the Commonwealth game. Good to see Zwapi back. I thought Ryan Oosthuizen was also taking a big step up. Muller du Plessis looking pretty good. It's set to be his last sort of few tournaments with the BLITZBOKS before he does go and link up with the Sharks full time. And JC Pretorius, who's probably been one of the standout players for the BLITZBOKS throughout the season. So in terms of what the things at stake at the moment, so that's currently still on top of the table with 124 points. Australia with 122, RT with 118. Now, in terms of the points available, if you win, you get 22 points. If you come the second, you get 19 points. A bronze medal gets you 17 points. So and then I think it's 17 down to 15, down to 13, 12. Yeah, then it becomes a sort of smaller increment. So basically, South Africa need to get at least 3 more points. Well, so at least I mean they need to get one more, any more points than Australia and Argentina, and they've won the league. So Australia needs to make up 3 points. Argentina needs to make up 7 points if they are to overtake South Africa. So basically, if the South Africans get to the final, and if it's against Australia, Australia could beat South Africa to take the World Series. But if South Africa were to get the final and Australia didn't make it, or Argentina didn't make it, they would have the World Series in the bag already. Fiji missing one of the tournaments in Seville means that they are currently on 104 points, so aren't really in the running for this weekend. So, yeah, I mean, basically, as I said, the BLITZBOKS need to get to sort of semi-finals and final and hope that Australia and Argentina kind of stumble on the way. However, Neil Powell's very much been talking about the fact that they're not taking calculators. They're not going to sit there watching what other teams are doing. They're going to go out there and they're going to try and win the tournament. Because if they win the tournament, they win the series. And if you look at the fixtures, it is going to be quite tricky because they are in a very tough group. They've got New Zealand, USA, Canada, and New Zealand, USA, Canada, whereas Australia got Argentina in their group themselves, which is quite interesting in terms of it means that one of them will probably be facing one of them will have to finish second and will be facing a pretty strong opposition in the semi-finals. Now, if South Africa can top the group, they could have a relatively straightforward route to the final. However, if they were to stumble and come second in the group, they might have to beat the likes of Fiji and Australia just to get to the final. Now, the nice thing, again, you know, if they do face Australia in the playoffs and they beat them, they've guaranteed to beat Australia. And if they beat Argentina and Australia, for example, I don't think that they could with regards to how the draw worked. But again, they would win the World Series. So quite a few different sort of ways that the BLITZBOKS can wrap up the series. The best thing to do is get yourself to that final. If Australia's not there, you've already won it. If they are there, you have to beat them to win it. In which case, how nice is that to be able to try and win the tournament, to win the series? And it'd actually be very good watching if Australia and South Africa were to both get to the final and we were to see an entire series come down to the last match, which would be pretty epic. But it's the sort of standard thing with the BLITZBOKS. You know, we know they're capable of doing it, where they can string those performances together throughout the weekend. During the Commonwealth Games, they looked absolutely unstoppable. They really did look like a whole class of their own. From the first match to the final match, nobody looked like they could beat them. They bring that form into this weekend, and I think that they will go all the way. However, The pressure is on them. They are the favourites. And the question is, can they rise to that occasion? Can they get the job done? Let me know what you think down in the comments below. Smash a like on the video. We will try and do some watch-alongs over the weekend. We definitely do more on the Sundays and sort of the playoffs. But we might try and do a couple of the group stages as well. Please do smash a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. And we'll see you throughout the weekend for some coverage of the final HSBC 7 Series event of the calendar year.